I'm not done sitting.
We must alert the king.
I love this bit.
And we must stop him from hacking the tower. And reactivating all the robots to eradicate all life from the planet again. But this time with no failsafe. Hello, is there anyone here? Hello? Carja. The shock spear, it's so shockingly powerful. Hello, is there anyone here? Hello, I must speak to Sun King Avid. Before the sun rises and all life is eradicated. Avid. Yeah, casual. You stopped us from playing Overwatch. Avid.
Aloy, what brings you to Meridian?
A threat. The Eclipse will attack soon, from the west. With an army. They'll bring a mind with them. God, demon, machine. Whatever you want to call it. It's called Hades. And it doesn't want Meridian at all. It wants the Spire. And if it gets there, it will send out a call, waking more ancient machines, more than we could ever defeat. All will be lost. We can't let that happen.
I'm trying to understand, but my responsibility lies with Meridian.
Meridian isn't the target, Avad. You have to defend the Spire.
Perhaps the Vanguard, Your Radiance.
Yes. Send them to the Spire. Eren knows Aloy. He won't question it.
And have the City Guard fortify the Western Ridge. There they can be seen to protect Meridian and the Elite, where the Spire rests.
Aloy, allow me to apologize for my behavior before. After everything that happened with Ursa, I was confused. If we're to fight together on the brink of life and death, I'd prefer to do so with your forgiveness.
Then you have it.
Yeah, it's fine.
As long as you don't confuse me with her again.
Even a king can learn his lesson. Good then. I'm glad that's behind us. Now, it will take time to prepare our defenses. Please, tell me what you know of our enemies. Everything.
I don't know about everything, but
gonna be a
I'll
long
tell you
story.
what I can.
But we didn't tell him anything.
It's a blameless Murad.
You never
Not
told me
yet,
to.
But I will.
He wishes to speak to you. Defensive preparations are his responsibility.
He's blameless, but why though? If he manages to get there, he will hack all machines, causing all life on the planet to
Quietly
be
does it.
eradicated.
Panic in the city will only create another enemy. And do keep me appraised of each new arrival. Ah, Aloy. Preparations are underway on the ridge defenses and at the Spire. Word was sent to every corner of the Sundom. Our allies offered their steel. Some came for Meridian, others for shards. But many came for you, by name.
For me.
Don't be so humble.
The heroes, they're all coming. Everybody's here. The
The ridge will
ridge.
be the front line. That's where the City Guard are holding?
Yes, bolstered by some of the irregulars I spoke of before. The Oseram cannons that thundered Meridian's walls in the Liberation will now defend us. You're welcome to tour the defenses.
And the Spire. Erend and the Vanguard are there?
Indeed. clashing breastplates together and testing out their battle cries, I suppose. A number of the Nora have also arrived at the Spire. They have resisted the offer of a royal audience. Perhaps you could parley with them.
I will. I suppose all we can do is wait for the attack.
Exactly. It's not a feeling I cherish, but our spotters at Evening Sign report there's still no movement in the west. So, if there's more you need to do elsewhere, seize this time to do it. Otherwise, I've made the apartment of Olin Delverson available to you. You can sleep there, if sleep comes.
The final battle. Da-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na, na-na-na-na-na. But we got to meet everyone. Oh yeah, the journal pages. Weird, we're still missing 2 of them though. Last time I visited the Prime was November of last year, months since it's been a blur. Flew out last night and oversee the installation of the central armature of the Master Override. You're welcome, Ted, which was completed by 4:30. So I decided to grab a few hours of sleep here before heading back to ZD. Call Gaia before bedded down. Obviously to update her on the site's plan, but the truth is, I miss her. I developed a habit of speaking to her before I sleep. Seems to be the only thing that calms me these days. Woke to a message of Ozva, the Odyssey launch yesterday. So terrestrial life chances of survival have doubled. Why then do I feel so uneasy? I just keep wondering what kind of world Far Zephyrus will create if the ship reaches the destination so many decades from now. And I worry that Alpha builds of Apollo so much knowledge, so few restraints, and no fail-safes. How will they avoid repeating our mistakes? What's to stop them from playing God? Forwarding the Odyssey message to Alphys, Naruto replied in less than a minute, with a poem of course. The Building of a Ship by Longfellow. It is long, alright. I didn't read all of it, but it seemed to be about launching a ship rather than building one. The stanza or couplet, or whatever, leapt out at me. Humanity, with all its fears, with all its hopes of the future years, is hanging breathless on their fate. Yeah, the Odyssey and Zero Dawn both. Speaking of which, I should get back to ZOD. Guess I'll stop by Natro's lab and check on Dermiton progress too. If I can get out of there without a volume of Tennyson passed into my hands, I'll count myself lucky. Till next time. Just to wrap up the inspection of Gaia Prime site, construction is well underway. Reactor installed. Plans for the control room remind me of a ship's bridge on those cheesy old sci-fi vids. Living spaces for the Alphas already complete. Proof-of modules, fingers crossed we never have to seal ourselves in here. Not that Elysium sounds much better. Spent last week at the Bryce site designing ZD project labs, drawing up protocols. The base were repurposed with a large plentiful rooms for workspaces and resounding blocks. The work crew already set up my office lab. I'm not a fan of the glass wall. Guess Murray intends to enclose me as an all-seeing presence. Opposite effect, make me feel watched on display. Tempted to paint over. Harry's reported his presentation yesterday. Steadily bleak, scheduled to report mine Friday. As soon as the receptionist lounge, Hollow Theatre, and the first residents of the ZOD block sites are finished, we'll start processing the candidates and bring them to Tyson 27. Already, extraction teams prioritize Pacific Rim and Asu candidates. How scared or confused they must be to snatch out the streets, carted across the world and held in cells. Here's hoping they understand once they see the big picture. Going to catch a few hours of sleep and fly back to ZOD site. Harris promised me delivery of QB lecture by noon. Expect MK1 will take 2 weeks to the machines. Assemble the test. I aim to launch the Gaia at 0.6 ground. From there I'll spin her up past 1.0 T. Wonder how long it will take to break the 1.38 T record. Meg can hang on. Sleep. Ah, fuck's sake. None of them repaired. I guess it was just a residual from the last time it got repaired.
Let's have a chat. No, a colorful discussion.
We're trapped now. The only way out is victory.
For the Forsaken. Guess we're gonna finally get to see the spire, though. How long is this Thunder Bluff lift gonna take? Oh. Meridian Village.
Don't ask me where to go if you're lost. I'm a guard, not the town's pride. You'll like what I have for sale, I promise.
Fine goods for
Fine
a
goods for
fair
a fair
price.
sale, I promise.
Buy what you need.
What are you selling? What can I buy?
Think of it, won't find better wares.
Have you just polished that armor, was it?
Hello? Is there anyone
Isn't that a
here?
little...
What? Sure as
Nothing.
Aloy, I told you I'd be here.
You did, Teb. But have your wounds even had time to heal?
Honestly, if I fought, I'd probably come undone. But don't worry, I'll leave that to the other Nora at the Spire. I brought supplies instead. These Karja have made me an honorary quartermaster, whatever that means.
It sounds impressive.
I could get used to it. We'll be setting up caches of arms and medicine under these banners. Look for them when the fighting starts. Aloy, when you went into the mountain, did the goddess tell you our chances?
She didn't need to. I know we can do this, Teb.
Maybe we can.
Only.
Different for the sacred land, did it?
Alright, we got another journal. Just wrapped up the installation of the Gaia Prime construction. Is well underway. Reactor installed. Plans for the control bit reminds me of the ship. Wait, no, we read this one. Last time I visited the Prime was November of no, I believe we read that one too. Travis came by trick-or-treating, dressed up like me. Should have seen that coming. I gave him a half-eaten pocket of dandy wafers as a treat and kicked him out, but not before he invited me to some kind of Italian horror extravaganza he organised from ZD staff. Seriously, as though there isn't enough horror in the world already. Anyway, I was already scheduled to fly out to the G Prime for the final inspection with Harris and the President's delegation. Ted was here too, and he was not looking good. Kept fidgeting and couldn't seem to look me in the face without blinking. I was relieved when he boarded his vat and flew back to Tavis. Tabais. I thought I shouldn't complain. If he wants to build himself a deluxe shelter to ride out the apocalypse, let him. Keep him out of Elysium and away from me. Harris stuck around long enough to give me the detailed briefing on the strategy situation. Basically, we've entered a terminal phase, as though the colour of the sky when I was flying over here wasn't clue enough. Another 2 or 3 weeks and the atmosphere won't be breathable. Least the vestiges of European and Western Africa CIV bridges are trapped with their backs against the Atlantic. Swarmers scuttle across the Atlantic is crossing the strands of Malaysia, about to start a death crawl up South America towards the Amazon. All the work we did to recontribute the rainforest, and it comes to this. And advanced elements of the Pacific Swarm are already skirmishing with units on the Kalmarsh seawall. The noose is tightening. Productions show that we still finish in time, but margin of error is plus or minus 10 days. Not good spread. If the plague breaks through ahead of schedule, we'll just can't handle. We can't let that happen. Enough writing. I need to get back to Zero Dawn.
Little Huntress, you called, so here I am.
Ready to fight?
Fight? I thought you just wanted tea and conversation. Is there a battle coming? I wasn't informed.
Well, that can't be true. You're always informed.
Ah, so I am. We've only met a few times, and yet you know me so well.
I don't think I know you at all. But I'd like to.
When I hear that line, it usually means something else. Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
I've been waiting for this fight my whole life. The day is the same that turned Meridian into a slave pit and Sunfall into a bloodbath. Fanatics who torture and murder mothers, fathers, families, children, and say it's the will of the sun. I hate them, Aloy. I've got the scars of their whips on my back to prove it. And today, we can get rid of them once and for all. I said I came for you, but that was only half the truth. I came for them. This time, they're not getting away.
I'm with you, Vanasha. We'll fight them together.
And I won't forget it, little Huntress. Tomorrow, may the sun rise in a better world.
Yeah, I think that the other guy, like, who wanted to duel me would be here. If, like, we had dueled him and not killed him.
Aloy?
But I don't think he's gonna be here.
At ease, Uthid. Meridian will be glad to have you on its side. And I am too.
The honor is mine. You saved my epitaph from being a fine soldier, but a fool of a man.
I'm hoping you won't need any kind of epitaph just yet.
As the sun wills. When you found me, I was trying to eke out a glorious death. But now, a glorious life seems more preferable. To watch Edelman play in the low gardens again. Still surrounded by a dozen guards, but... what you did, Aloy, it was done well. Although, I can't... She delights in goading me. Like brazen colors waved before a behemoth.
Do you want me to ask her to stop?
No. I accept it. Well then. Meridian shall stand and shadow shall fall. I swear it.
Here's to that, Uthid.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you're
Geneva.
here.
They called you back to duty.
So, you're the one behind all this commotion. Who made Sun King Avad finally show his sword arm from behind those robes?
A king can be fierce and fair, Geneva. He's a good man.
A smart man, too. He had Murad offer all my prisoners a royal pardon if they'd fight for Meridian. The whole motley lot of them agreed. Didn't take much convincing.
With your kind of convincing, I don't doubt it.
Ha! This time I went easy on them. Those who commit the crime of attacking Meridian, they'll see less of my lenient side. May the sun blaze at your back, Aloy.
Didn't actually expect her to come here.
Nakoa, you came to fight.
How could I not? During the Red Raids, there was only one Karja butcher the Nora feared more than Zaid.
Helis.
I would stand against any army he leads, no matter how strong. For the Nora he terrorized, for myself, and for my father.
We'll stop him. You have my word.
Your word means a lot, especially now. Because of you, I hear the sacred land is opened. If we win, I can go home. It'll be good to see Jan again. I'm with you, Aloy. Until the end.
How many men do you think you'll kill in the battle, Uthid?
As many as I have to.
I love it when you say things like that. It's so
What?
cheerful.
It seems we've got a very powerful weapon.
Huh. So you must be Aloy then. I thought there'd be more of you. More of me. Thicker, I suppose. More of a gear wheel, less of a ringlet. Don't get me wrong, you're very well struck.
Do all Oseram flirt at the most inopportune times?
Inopportune? Battle hasn't even started yet. Petra Forge woman. I hail from the Free Heap. I'll be heading back in the next dust storm. Murad asked me to check over the city arsenal first. Cannons have aged well, but I've cleared their throats so they can really roar.
Can I try one?
Everybody wants a turn. Have at it then.
So the cannons are actually hand cannons. It just sucks in shots, and then just shoot. Wow. It does the big suck, and then shoots out a bunch of bombs.
No need to aim it like a bow. Range is good. Try the next.
Why are they not dying? Blast myself. See, look at how strong that shield is. Like, we took a full blast and it only took half the shield off. And then it heals back up.
That'll knock a machine on its ass, ancient or no. With these, I think we could hold off an army.
That's a nice spear, Uthid.
Well, it's decent
I
work
like the way
keeping
you
the city
grip it.
safe.
Enough, woman.
Swiggity swooty.
Elida, I'm pleased to see you, but what are you doing here?
I'm helping prepare for the battle. If Atral were here, we would have fought together. I know it. So I'm doing everything I can. Digging battlements, collecting herbs.
It's
anything
herbs,
that
not
makes a
herbs.
difference. I can't take his place. Nothing can take his place. But I'm here for him, for both of us.
I understand what it was he saw in you.
He'll always be with me. Sun and shadow still meet for a moment, every dawn and dusk. I should give you this, to help in the battle. By the sun, I hope you don't need it.
Thank you, Elida. Be safe.
Antidotes to rare poisons.
You're the hunter from the Banuk Grove.
I remember you also, Nora.
The machines shook free of their slumber after you arrived. Raged and fought.
Well, that wasn't my fault.
No, I'm thanking you. That night, I decided I would not go back to Banur. I would take my hunt into these lands.
I think I'm gonna go back to
So many
Banur.
machines, even demons. Spidery, skittering, without the blue light in them. Dead things that must be killed again.
Our
The
enemies
demons
dug up
told
an
us
army of them.
to.
An army. Yes, that's why I came. Good. I'll wait.
But yeah, I believe like every one of these platforms supposed to have 2 people on. So I feel like that guy who didn't duel was meant to be there on this platform, but maybe not. The cannons will be useful. The cannon penis!
Awesome. We'll just conveniently lose your ball in the transport to Main.
Another log. Halloween, Travis came. Nope, that's the same one as before. Oh, one's a voice recording. The fuck? Where's the missing file then? 1. I just said a file, didn't it? Damn it, I didn't see it properly. Mustn't be wrong, like, there's no file here. Unless this is it. Dun 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 into a spire of flames, distant sparks call to a past still unnamed. Awaken the undying light. Are you anyone important?
Talana, why are you here?
I'm your hawk. Where else would I be?
Defending Meridian with Avad?
I leave that to the rest of the Lodge. I will not stand aside while one of mine fights alone. Not again.
Will you fight among us?
Sure you...
You're risking your life for all of us. You can't ask me to stand by and watch. Not when I have the power to change it.
Then I won't ask you.
It's settled. I will fight by your side. My only request...
Name it.
Leave the biggest machine for me.
No promises.
We have Talanji helping us fight. Honestly, probably the biggest help here. She helped us take down that savage Deviljome. And she is probably the best hunter. Oh my god. Oh my god!
Ho!
It rises taller than the highest tree.
Hello?
War Chief Sona.
Sonia.
War
Slow
Chief,
turn.
You seem
Here. I do not belong here. I will fight the metal devil that threatens us all. But my place is in the sacred land. The wrongness here jags at me like an arrowhead.
I'm sorry to put you through this.
Do not be sorry. This will be ended. My spear, my word.
The spire. We must slay the spire. Never actually been up here, so we might actually find some data which has not been expunged by an idiot from the Terror Corps. Why would he just delete all the history?
Son, how does your gaze fall?
Naman, I should have known if there was going to be a Sun Priest here, it would be you.
And if the Sun King had allowed Outlanders to set foot upon the Alight, this Aloy could only be you. I wish the circumstances were different, or that the Psalms of the Sun could give you peace of mind. But if you'll allow me one pontification...
Go ahead.
You've shown strength and compassion. Our enemy is only a desperate hate. Both sides claim the blessing of the sun. But the sun that I pray to, it would bestow it upon yours.
You know, Naman, I'm already under some pretty heavy divine pressure, but I'll try to live up to it.
The tribes united against Shadow. How could that not be the sun's will?
Haha, who isn't under divine pressure? Well, quite a few people, but I certainly am.
Greetings, Aloy. Don't. You don't need to bow. The Anointed doesn't like it.
She doesn't much like being called anointed, either. It means a lot to have you here, Varl.
I gave my word.
So, Meridian, what do you think?
I've seen many new things since I first met you. I should thank you.
Varl, what's wrong?
You really want to know? All right. I'm in a foreign land, a tainted land, defending a faithless city that looks like nothing I've seen. From something I can't imagine. And you, after all that's happened, all you've done, I feel like I should drop to my knees and worship you, but I know you don't want that.
Boy, things are pretty tough for you, huh? Thanks for telling the other Nora not to bow. It's the last thing I need.
Don't be too hard on them. They only joined this fight because the Anointed bid it so.
Is that why you came?
No. I would have come just to see you one more time. And we must fight a metal devil, because the goddess says. Or because you say.
I think the goddess... We're both glad you're here.
So am I.
We're gonna have to fight many metal devils, probably.
So who are these guys?
They call themselves the Eclipse.
What does that even mean?
It's when the moon gets in front of the sun, idiot.
Is that supposed to sound scary or something?
I don't know. They used to be Carja. Carja are always yammering about sun and shade.
Well, if they used to be
they're
Carja,
right.
how tough can they be?
Yeah, they're best guys dressed like birds. We'll rip their little feathers
True.
off.
And let's not get cocky, boys.
Hello there. General Kenobi.
Aloy. So here we are again, gearing up for a fight. Only this time it sounds like the bad guys have a lot more firepower. What are we up against, really?
I'm not sure. But there's gonna be a lot of them, and they'll have machines. And if they get past us, it's not just Meridian that will fall. The rest of the world will go with it.
Well, that's big. It sounds like our kind of fight. Right, guys? Well, where do they put the Vanguard?
At the front of the line!
And why?
Steel before iron!
And what are we gonna do?
Hit them like a hammer till they can't hit back!
Damn right! You hear that? We're here for Meridian. And we're here for you.
Thank you, Erend. Ursa would be proud.
Well, only if we win.
Dun 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 dun. Wait, the fuck? More data has just appeared out of nowhere. Like, it just filled out. Alright, such close thing. It's been 43 hours since Harris warned me. Said the collapse of the Eastern Line was imminent, Swarm launching some kind of pincer maneuver versus the Vulture surveillance. 5 or 6 days more and I think Gaia would have launched without our help. I really do. We had to scramble SOD, become a madhouse, absolute bedlam. Every team member rushing to stabilize the code and lock down the gammas, got evacuated, then betas. Once Gaia was on her way, I gathered the alphas together and gave them the bad news. Felt like I was going to throw up, but they already knew, of course. They knew the work wasn't really finished. Close, but not quite there. Still tests to run, kinks to smooth, work to do. So I accepted it. No Elysium for us. We'll be spending the rest of our lives here, testing and polishing each subordinate function to perfection. Guess that's what you get when you recreate a bunch of obsessive perfectionists. Managing not to cry until we got back to my office. So here we are, setting up Gaia Prime, and yeah, such a close thing makes me feel nauseated all over again. When I contemplate the fear of how life could hinge on this consequence, if never proposed by the Lightkeeper Protocol, there never would have been living space constructed here. If I abandoned that protocol sooner, the necessary life support system never would have been installed. If, at least we won't have to endure the creepiness of the rise and training of clones of ourselves. The genetic material was never processed out of the cradle sites, so it's not even possible. For which I'm glad. I really wouldn't want to spend time around a young Travis Tate, raised by Travis Tate. No, I'd be up to us to perfect Gaia, 1 generation only. Update, the General Harris, the surveillance has collapsed. USRC expects to be overrun in 2 days, which gives us 72 hours at the best to lock down and seal up. Buried alive for life's sake. I go tell the others. So yeah, more data appeared out of nowhere. To fill out the missing spots.
Task is complete.
That was spooky. Wait, maybe that's what it happened. Maybe it went into one of the one of these.
Logging arrivals.
No, we did that one. Nope. I don't see it anywhere. I'm not sure whether to just put everything in one last episode or whether to do it now. Problem is I didn't mark when we started. I'll probably just split it because I don't know how long this episode is, and the final battle is probably going to take about an hour, if not more. At least we have the hunt. At least we have a master rank hunter. Shame we missed one guy though. Like, we could have done with that one guy, but it won't make a difference. It's not like they're main characters or anything. Dun 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 ha 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 ha. file. Such a close thing. It's been, what, 43 hours since... No, wait, this is the same one. Should maybe just read these when they're all complete.
And the Carja in shadow.
A flame dancer.
Only the finest goods here. See for yourself.
I assume the cannons were really big. I didn't think they'd be like hand cannons.
These aren't goods, they're necessities.
As you can see though, this armor is so good.
Roland's apartment feels empty.
Yeet!
Should I sleep? Did I leave anything unfinished?
Well, I left quite a bit of lore scattered around the world, but I see Bear picking it up. We'll just check whether there is anything. Rest before the battle.